can you tell me about meeting with Bill Gates? I take a lot of risks in my life. And every year, all the investors, what we did was we would all go every year to Redmond, which is the headquarters in Washington State in the northwest of the United States. That's where Microsoft's headquarters are. And what would happen is there'd be 500 of us, and we watch a presentation by Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer as well, who was the CEO at the time. And after that, we then had lunch. And every year I would go to Microsoft's headquarters. This lunch meeting was awesome. There was 50 tables with 10 people each. Okay, so that's 500 people. And it was assigned seating. And as we walked to lunch, it was fascinating because we were on Microsoft's campus. And I always got lost because every year there'd be new buildings everywhere as Microsoft was growing quickly at the time. And at lunch, Bill Gates was scheduled, or he was sitting at one table, and it was assigned seating. On his left was the largest shareholder, and on his right was the second largest shareholder. So on his left was the portfolio manager from Fidelity, a big mutual fund. And on his right was the portfolio manager by my favorite mutual fund ever, which is Capital. And there was a bit of a gap in between the Fidelity portfolio manager and Bill Gates. And I had nothing to lose, right? And so what I did was this. I pulled up a chair. I went to the back room and I got a chair. And I carried it in. And people were staring at me, whatever. I didn't care. And I put it down right beside Bill Gates. And I went, garçon. Or I didn't say garçon, but waiter. And they set me up with a new place setting. And it was amazing. And Bill was really, I mean, he was nice to me. And he was a hero to me because growing up, I read every single Bill Gates book there was. I interviewed to work at Microsoft, which I failed that interview miserably. And if you want to hear why, ask me. But I sat beside Bill Gates, and he was amazing. He's different, though, when you meet him in person because he's media trained. Right? On television, he speaks slowly, and he's been trained. He speaks much more quickly when you meet him in person, and he's also very animated and combative as well in a good way, right? He loves it when he gets tough questions, but he gets animated and he changes. I asked him easier questions because I don't know, I love the guy, right? What he's done has been amazing, and you can be any CEO you want. I don't want any of you to waste your time trying to get a sale or a customer or a job from a company if you're not talking to the right person. Okay, what happens is these big companies are very bureaucratic. The easiest way to meet with a CEO is as follows, and I'm not going to waste your time on this because I talked about it in the previous webcast. Go to my vlogs and just scroll through and find the one where how to get a meeting with any CEO. Okay, it explains how to do it. Why I failed at my Microsoft interview. In the early 90s, when I was in undergrad at McGill University, I loved technology. The most dominant tech company at the time was Microsoft. I had my iMac, or actually it was called a Mac at the time, a big black and white thing. Loved technology, wanted to work at Microsoft so badly. I knew everything about the company. And Microsoft came to campus. And I actually couldn't wait for the interview because I prepared so much, right? I don't know what I know now in terms of structuring, logic and whatnot, but I prepared a bunch, okay? Because I knew I'd never get the job. And so I went to the interview room and I showed up about 20 minutes early. And I'm sitting down in the chair and I'm waiting, and I had my best suit on too. I remember I went to Harry Rosen, which is a big clothing place in Canada, and I got a double-breasted suit, which was in style then. I had a white shirt and a red tie, and they told me to make sure to, took off my ugly sweater, forgot to do a button here. They told me to have my tie and pull it out a little bit and it makes you look confident. And I'm sitting in the interview room and I'm waiting. And the interview's supposed to start right now. I was like, wow, what's going on? And 10 minutes go by and the interviewer's not there. 15 minutes go by, the interviewer's not there. And so I'm wondering, WTF, why the face? And so what happened was the garbage lady walked in. She had awful clothes and stuff. And, I very politely, leaned over. I was sitting and I picked up the garbage. And I said, la poubelle. That's what we call it in French, poubelle. And I gave it to her very nicely. And she looked at me and she said, actually, I'm from Microsoft and I'm going to be interviewing you. And I didn't get that job. We actually both had a good laugh about it. But the bottom line here is that I just want you to know that you got to really spend a lot of time focusing on even the external appearances. I know it sounds stupid, but you got to make sure that you fit into the culture there. And obviously Microsoft, and I didn't realize this in tech, you don't dress up. You don't wear a tie or anything. You're supposed to be like jeans or whatever, or dress like she was, which is how I dress now, here in the Bay Area. So that's why I failed my interview at Microsoft. I hope you had a good laugh at my expense with that.